On this week's Silver Screen Report, we have a recap of this week's midterm elections, take a look at flexible seating options in the classroom, and preview tonight's football game.
Good afternoon, Dutch Fork. Today is Friday, November 9th, and your Silver Screen Report starts now.
On Tuesday, the nation set out to vote for Senate seats, House seats, governors, state policies, and hundreds of other local and state officials. Here's Todd Whittington with a breakdown of the 2018 midterm elections.
After Tuesday's election, Republican incumbent Henry McMaster will remain governor, winning 54% of the votes. Pamela Yvette is the state's lieutenant governor. This will be McMaster's first term as elected governor following his promotion from lieutenant governor in 2017 after Nikki Haley became the UN ambassador in President Trump's administration. For the federal House of Representatives, our state voted blue in 2 congressional districts and red in 5. Only one of those seats was flipped. Voters rejected the proposed amendment to have the governor appoint the state superintendent of education, and current superintendent Molly Spearman will remain in her post. Nationwide, Democrats now control the House of Representatives, but Republicans will remain in control of the Senate. This means President Trump will retain the upper hand when choosing federal judges, but Democrats will likely block traditionally red legislation and may prompt investigations into the president and his administration regarding everything from Russia to his tax returns. The country gained 7 Democratic governors for a total of 23. Republican governors sit at the helm of the remaining 26 states. This division will be relevant for the 2020 district redrawing. If you would like to vote in the next election, look back at last week's show to learn how to register. If you did vote in this election, share your I voted selfie by tagging DFHS Vote and submitting your picture to the web address posted on the senior class Google Classroom. This has been Todd Whittington with your Silver Screen Report.
The Republican Party was founded more than 100 years ago, and since its founding, it has become one of the 2 major political parties in the U.S. Katie Rojas has the inside scoop on the next generation of Republicans.
With the shuffling of seats, the Young Republicans Club held a meeting last Thursday where they discussed their beliefs and how to further the values of the Republican Party.
Definition: Young Republicans is a group of high school age students who are interested in learning about the values and beliefs of the Republicans and conservatives in general, and having that knowledge, sharing it with others.
As long as you have an open mind and you're willing to learn more about the Republican Party and conservative politics, you're welcome.
Young Republicans Club for just people who want to share their views and see what other people have to say and see how other people react to the same views that you might have.
They would like to welcome young Democrats as well and hope to engage more students in political activities.
Well, anyone is welcome, whether you're a Republican, Independent, or Democratic in your political viewpoint, but ideally the students that came to me asking me to sponsor the group were Republican and conservative oriented, and so they just want to use the club as an opportunity to learn more about conservative issues and to be able to share them civilly with others.
I think they would welcome a Young Democrats Club, and I would welcome a Young Democrats Club because it would provide the young Republicans with people to debate with.
I hope to be able to share my views and see how I can further my knowledge about being a young Republican, especially since other people don't necessarily understand what being a Republican is.
The club plans to participate in upcoming community service projects and invite conservative speakers to share their views.
We're going to discuss how to help politicians on the campaign trail, might do some community service projects. We haven't really worked out everything yet, but when we get more members, we're definitely going to figure out some things to do.
Well, the group is still forming, so we haven't made any long-term plans. At this point, we're going to try to get some guest speakers to come in to share their thoughts on, conservative values and just answer questions and try to get students more engaged in the political process.
This has been Katie Rojas with your Silver Screen Report.
SAT word of the week is convene, a verb meaning to call together.
It allows people to show their support and gratitude for veterans' service to their country. Luke Womble has more.
Veterans Day is a day where U.S. citizens gather to appreciate the sacrifices the military make for our freedoms.
Veterans Day is important to people in different ways. A lot of us had parents that have served. Some of us had grandparents. I served myself, so to me it's a day to reflect on all the people that I served in the military with, what the military has done for me and what it's done for this country, so we have our freedoms today.
Oh, it's very important because it gives us an opportunity to just reflect on those who have served. A lot of the freedoms that we experience and that we're privy to, sometimes that's lost if we don't take the time to reflect.
I think it's really important to honor our veterans because they put their lives on the line for us, and it's our way of showing them that we appreciate what they did.
Veterans Day is important to veterans as they see people appreciating all the work that they have done and being able to spend time with family.
Oh, well, it's a happy day. Personally, I get to go to my daughter's middle school and sit with her, and then she gets to understand, you know, what Daddy and other people like me have done to really help the country and to preserve the country the way it is today.
ROTC, last Sunday, this past week, we were at the Lexington County Parade for Veterans Day Parade. Then November 12th, we'll be doing the Columbia Veterans Parade. So it takes a lot of time, but it's worth it because it shows the younger generation how important the military is, and we should recognize those who have fought for us.
There are many ways to show support for your veterans on Veterans Day. Even the little things can mean a lot.
Hey, U.S. citizens, they can contribute just by saying thank you to a veteran that they see. It never gets old to hear thank you for your service. So I think that's good enough for veterans.
I think just a thank you would probably be enough. I'm not real big on parades or anything like that myself, but most veterans that I know, just to know that people thank them for their service is enough to make them happy.
This has been Luke Womble with your Silver Screen Report.
Beanbags, stools, and chairs are different types of seating arrangements that students can use to get comfortable in their classrooms. Here's Allie Sessions with a look at flexible seating options at Dutch Fork.
Students and teachers gather around to talk about why flexible seating is important.
Flexible seating is important to students because students learn in different ways and in different places. Some students prefer hard desk, bright lighting, and some students prefer a more comfortable seating.
Teacher Cadet students will use their knowledge of flexible seating in the field of experience.
Flexible seating is that having a student move around and go to different seats will help them better understand the information.
Flexible seating helps you focus more on the teacher and meeting people in like a change of environment, like a scenery in the classroom.
I think it's important because you don't want the child to get bored in the class, so you always want it to be interesting and you always want them to be interested.
Although flexible seating is suggested, most students and teachers will go the whole year without it.
Because that means I get to sleep, basically. Well, not sleep, but chill for a while.
It makes my mind feel relaxed and I ain't gotta be all tense.
And every week, I feel that the students should have different places to sit so that they can learn new people and they can learn the material and see like how whichever way that they sit will help them learn better.
This has been Allie Sessions with your Silver Screen Report.
This week's Kids in the Hall, we asked students about their ideal learning environment.
I like sitting around people, like, not like in rows, like you know how they do the little squares, like little groups of people? I like sitting like that. Basically like having somebody like walk me through the steps and like instead of just giving it to me and expect me to learn it on my own, basically like teach me, make sure I have it.
It's somewhere like quiet where like, you know, I'm getting help, but also, you know, doing my own thing.
If it's math, I try to stay away from anything too distracting. If I'm working on like something like reading or government or something that doesn't take too much problems, I like to put like soft music on, just kind of be in my own zone.
Last Thursday, students cheered for the first teacher to receive the administration's new Teacher of the Week award. Here's Solomon Dix with the story.
Last Friday, English teacher Lauren Gare received an award for Teacher of the Week.
I was shocked and surprised because I didn't even know that it existed.
We thought Miss Gare had done a magnificent job with her lesson plan about her HERO project. We thought it was a wonderful cross-curricular activity. She embedded a lot of social studies within her lesson plan. In addition, she really asked students to think outside the box.
She's a great teacher because she always tries to incorporate fun stuff and current topics in our lesson. So it's easy for us to learn.
Teacher of the Week makes teachers feel appreciated for their hard work.
I think it's important because I know teachers put a lot of hard work into things that they do, and it's nice to feel appreciated every once in a while, and so it feels good after we put hard work into something to be recognized.
We really want to celebrate our teachers and the great work that they're doing at Dutch Fork High School. So in order to do that, we wanted to do a weekly celebration of a really great lesson that we have either observed a teacher teaching or just some positive energy that the teachers put into the school.
I think it encourages teachers to continue doing good and make the lesson better so that they can at least win Teacher of the Week.
An easy way to recognize teachers is to just simply thank them or give words of encouragement.
Well, I think that if students just participate in class, that's a good way to recognize what your teacher does. That's really all we want, is for kids to pay attention and to do their best.
So I really think, as a previous classroom teacher, it really meant a lot to me when a student would say, I really appreciate what you've done for me today in the classroom. I know not all students are going to take the time to do that, but sometimes just taking that moment to recognize the thought that the teachers put into the lesson plan or in the grading or in the project that they've developed.
Just tell them thank you for what they've done. Can bring them a little snack or something.
This has been Solomon Dix, your Silver Screen Report.
For a hands-on science class, look no further. Marine science may be the right class for you. Lydia Bass dives in.
Students say that marine science is different from other science classes because it combines chemistry and biology.
Well, marine science incorporates a lot of skills that you learn in earlier science classes like physical science and biology and even some chemistry.
It's different because you get to be more hands-on and work with fish, and you're in a group with 5 people in there, and you have to do it by daily. Every day you have to go in there and feed the fish. You have to go make sure that the water's good for the fish.
Marine science students are keeping fish tanks to study ocean salinity and the necessary steps to keep fish alive.
So currently the students are keeping various types of fish and invertebrates like starfish, anemones, and crabs alive in their tanks, and detailing the chemistry of the water on a daily basis as part of their ongoing experiment.
You get to actually be hands-on and create and maintain a saltwater fish tank.
We're feeding our starfish, and some classes have different fish, so they feed it differently. But with the starfish, you feed it every once a week, and we make sure the water's clean, everything's good with the fish to make sure we can keep it alive.
Marine science covers a variety of topics, such as ocean patterns and currents. We're learning about oceans and how much salt's in the ocean and how to maintain all the different levels in the fish tanks.
The class covers some of the basics of the ocean, things like various currents that are global, the various ocean dynamics and coastal dynamics.
We learn about ocean water and how it's different from regular water, and how fish survive in tanks, and their atmospheres have to be different, and making sure that they are alive.
This has been Lydia Bass with your Silver Screen Report.
Tonight, the Foxes will take on the South Florence Bruins here at home. Here's Nate Oates with a look at the season so far and projections for tonight's game.
At 8-0, the Dutch Fork varsity football team has dominated its opponents this season, winning by an average margin of 54 points per game. The Foxes' opponent tonight, South Florence, has a losing season with 4 wins and 5 losses, and their wins have only been by a margin of 20 points. Dutch Fork has had incredible offensive and defensive games so far, rushing for a total of 1,940 yards. The defense has only allowed 548 total rushing yards this season, leaving opponents at only 2.5 yards per rush. The Foxes' passing game has also been consistently strong, with 75% of passes being completions, and a total of 2,651 yards with only 3 interceptions so far. Dutch Fork's receivers have averaged 18 yards per catch, with 34 total touchdowns. Comparing the Foxes and the Bruins season so far, it's very likely that tonight's matchup could be yet another shutout. Even though South Florence could put some points on the board, it's very likely Dutch Fork will win by at least a 34-point margin. The game starts tonight at 7:30 in the stadium. Tickets are $7 and are available at the gate. Remember, new security measures are still in place, so give yourself extra time to get through the line. This has been Nate Oates with your Silver Screen Report.
And now for some announcements. Today is the deadline for National Honor Society applications. See sponsor Jessica Thur in room 255 with questions. There will be a Biology Olympiad interest meeting next Wednesday during first lunch in room 324. See or email Katrina Thompson for more information. The DFHS Community Book Club will meet next Thursday in room 257 during both Fox Focus times. We'll discuss Out of the Silent Planet by C.S. Lewis, eat snacks, and choose our next book. See English teacher Jay Gilliam in room 257 with questions. Now here's Maddie with more.
Thanks, Darren. Attention seniors, your makeup yearbook pictures will be held in the auditorium next Friday. You must have an appointment. Ask your English teacher for more information. Are you interested in journalism or videography? The Silver Screen Report staff would like to talk to you. Come by room 252 during Fox Focus on B-Days to see how you can get involved. Revelations, Dutch Fork's literary magazine, is accepting submissions. Students may submit their original art and/or writing to dflitmag@gmail.com. See advisor Amy Medlock Green in room 252 for more information. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next week.